Chapter 2. The sprawling gardens of the icon were half the size of a football field. I went past the evening walkers trying to finish their daily step count targets to the play area with its swings, slides, seesaws and a sandpit where children were building sandcastles. Maids and doting mothers were keeping an eye on their little ones. My parents sat on a bench near the play area. As I came closer, I saw someone sitting with them. It was a woman, probably in her 20s. I noticed her striking looks first. She had a fair complexion, smooth skin and a cascade of brown curls. Her high cheekbones and full lips were visible even from a distance. She wore a white silver kameez with blue embroidery on it. Were my desperate parents trying to set me up? Were they going to suggest a match? Keshav, come. My father had noticed me. Meet Alia, my mother beamed. She stays in Tower B, right opposite our Tower C. Hello. Alia extended her hand. Hi, I said, shaking hands with her. I felt like an idiot in my bathroom slippers and an old college vest. Alia wasn't just beautiful, she was stunning. She might be a model level gorgeous. Her hazel eyes, a mix of light brown and green, were her most electric feature. Auntie was just telling me about you, Alia said. I wondered what my mother had said about me. Had she told her what a loser I was, or had she marketed me a bit? For once I liked my parents' choice. Oh, really? I said. Sit with us, Keshav beta, my mother said in an unusually sweet tone. The four of us sat in a row, on the bench. I wondered what my parents expected me to do. Chat her up. Which flat in Tower B is yours? I said, forcing myself to make conversation. 16th floor, apartment 1602. How about you? We are in Tower C, unit 1703. One floor above you. I pointed to our apartment, high above us, to our left. My parents continued to stare at both of us. I couldn't talk under this pressure. Fortunately, she could. Auntie told me you are a detective, Alia said, brushing a lock of hair away from her forehead. Yes, I've helped the police with a couple of cases, I said. He also went to IIT Delhi, my mother said in a non sequitur, to pad up my resume. Nice, she said. Tell me about your detective business. What exactly do you do? All kinds of cases. Though the more serious the crime, the better it is. More fun, I said and smiled. Fun, she looked surprised. Sorry, I meant those are the ones I look forward to the most. This detective stuff is just a hobby, my father said. He is preparing for the IPS. He also worked in a software company before. Tell her properly no, Keshav. I smiled and remained silent. She took out a small box from her handbag and opened it. There were laddus inside. Would you like one? She said. Thanks, I said, taking a tiny piece of one. Ma, we already took. She made them herself. They are amazing, Ma said. A pretty girl who talks politely to elders and makes laddus. Doesn't get more perfect than that for Indian parents. I nodded my appreciation after tasting the little crumb. Take more, I have plenty, Alia said. She handed me a full laddu. Delicious, I said, taking a bite. They are Kerala's brown rice laddus. Not as unhealthy as you think, she said. You are from Kerala, my father said. Somehow, he is always deeply interested in people's hometown or state or religion or caste. On my mother's side, my father was a Rajput from Rajasthan. I am an army kid though. Grew up all over India. My parents' eyes lit up at the mention of the words Rajput and Rajasthan. If it were up to them, they would give her Sagan right there. So, you stay with your parents here, my mother said. Before Alia could answer, a small girl came running towards her from the play area. Mummy, she sang and jumped into Alia's lap. My parents' faces fell. Their disappointed expressions were so funny, you could turn them into memes. I wanted to burst out laughing but controlled myself. I brought the laddus you like. Would you like one? Alia said. The little girl nodded vigorously. Okay, Suhana, wish everybody first. That's Rajpurohit uncle and auntie. And that's their son, Keshav. Good evening, Rajpurohit uncle and auntie. Good evening, Keshav uncle, Suhana said. I had gone from prospective groom to uncle in 5 seconds flat. Hello, Betty, my mother said in a deflated voice. This is Suhana, my daughter, Alia said. My father grunted and stood up. He signaled to my mother to get up as well. I have to arrange dinner. Nice meeting you, Alia beta. Thanks for the laddus, my mother said. Alia looked surprised at their abrupt departure. You are welcome, auntie. I will bring some more Kerala sweets when I make them. My mother only smiled in response. Is daddy home? Suhana said. He's on his way. He messaged me, Alia said. You are coming or not, Lalita, my father said to my mother in a semi-stern voice. I stood up to leave. Bye, Keshav uncle, Suhana said in a cheerful voice. You should have seen your faces, ma, both yours and dad's, I said, laughing as I put some aloo matar sabzi on my plate. What nonsense, ma said. My father didn't say a word. He just continued to eat. I recounted the story to Saurabh, who didn't seem amused, going by his sullen face. I passed him the sabzi. He declined. I handed him the chapati box. He shook his head. No food, I said, keeping the chapati box back on the table. Why? My mother said. Not hungry, Saurabh said. Did you eat junk again? Chips, Maggie, my mother said. No, excuse me, please, Saurabh said and stood up. I'm tired, I'll go rest in my room. I noticed Saurabh's droopy shoulders as he walked to his bedroom. I sent him a message. Everything okay? My mother said. She's married. But by the grace of God, she is so beautiful. Isn't she, Keshav? Huh, I said, looking up from my phone. Stop checking your phone during dinner. It's rude, Papa said. Sorry, I said and turned to my mother. What did you say, Ma? Her eyes, her skin, her hair, so pretty, Ma said. I didn't notice, I said. Didn't notice, my mother said. This sir here is above everyone else. Why did you come down in this old west? Don't you have any shame? What impression will it create? Papa said. How does it matter, Papa? She's married. We still have to create a good impression as neighbors. Marriage, huh? What a joke. She would be way beyond you even if she was single. She won't look at you twice. Udharan, Golu, are you unwell? I had come to Saurabh's room after dinner. He was sitting on his bed in a t-shirt and shorts, playing Candy Crush Saga on his phone. I am fine, he said, without looking up from his game. You are not. I jumped onto the bed next to him and snatched his phone. Hey, stop it. I almost cleared that level, Saurabh said. Tell me what's wrong. Nothing is wrong. I just didn't want to eat. Golu, you and food are like inseparable lovers. Saurabh got off the bed. He pointed at the door. Keshav, can you please leave my room? What? I said, surprise. I was joking. Lovers, is it? That's it. That's your idea of humor. Why are you acting so touchy, Golu? Udharan, I am sick of it, Saurabh screamed, loud enough for my parents watching TV in the living room to hear. Sick of my jokes about you and food. Sorry, Golu, I will stop. No, I am sick of being fat. Saurabh planked himself on the bed and it creaked loudly. The irony of him landing with a thud versus his delicate emotion about being fat was funny. However, I forced myself not to laugh. Has something happened, Saurabh? I said in a soft voice. Saurabh looked at me. I had a lunch date today, he said. Date during office hours. With whom? Well, with Rashmi. She works with Vodafone, ex-client of CyberSafe. And she was amazing, smart and attractive. A 1-hour lunch at Pizza Express stretched to 3 hours. I made her laugh so much. Greet what happened then. I sent her a message later. Told her I had enjoyed meeting her and asked her out again. Saurabh took his phone and opened WhatsApp. Here, read this long message she sent me. I read Rashmi's message out loud. Saurabh, I enjoyed meeting you as well. You are good fun, intelligent and kind. However, relationships are about being honest. To be honest, I don't think I could be physically attracted to you. Your big frame, yes, some girls may find it cuddly and cute, but I see only future heart attacks. I could try to ignore the lack of fitness, but it will always bother me. Also, I used to be overweight once. It took me huge pains to lose weight. If my partner doesn't eat healthy, I'd be tempted and lose my resolve again. Hence it is better we remain just friends. No hard feelings. I kept the phone aside and remained silent. Bad, isn't it? Saurabh said. Sucks. Friend zoned. It's over. Full marks for honesty, though. What do I do, bhai? Saurabh said. He sounded like he was going to cry. This is brutal, but maybe you needed this. I need Rashmi. I smiled. Will you help me get thin, bhai? Be my trainer. You are so fit and disciplined. I want to be that way. I have tried in the past, Golu. You always find excuses and quit. I won't this time, promise, Saurabh said, pinching his neck like little children do. I did not want to be trapped again. Making Saurabh stick to a diet was like trying to turn an alcoholic gambler into a monk. Say something, bhai. I am not sure. Let me think about it, I said before leaving his room.